In our first story this afternoon, the country will not be able to use cheap hydro power sources to expand its capacity to support its rural electrification program. The nation got to this status after recording higher demand for power in the last few years. This situation has compelled the Energy Commission to press on government to fast-track implementation of energy conservation initiatives for the country. Speaking to Joy Business, Director of Energy Efficiency and Climate Change at the Energy Commission, Kofi Ejako, said the growing demand is worrying and could affect the country economically.
Now Ghana has hit its wit's end as far as cheap hydropower is concerned. Now, any future expansion of generation capacity will have to come from thermal. And thermal is expensive. You understand? Thermal is expensive. That is how come sometimes we struggle to adjust tariffs upwards, and it comes with a whole lot of resistance. Thermal is expensive by way of the crude oil that we use as feedstock. It is expensive also by way of maintenance. It is expensive by way of the carbon dioxide that it emits into the atmosphere. So, if the trend is not checked and demand for power continues to grow, then we as a people will have no alternative than to cough money to increase generation, expand generation capacity. That is building more power plants. And that money, you know much as I do, that can be applied to certain sensitive sectors of the economy that will bring prosperity to all of us.
While still on power issues, work on the 19.4 megawatt peak solar project at Kaleo and Lawra, both in the Upper West region, are going on steadily and expected to be completed before the end of the year. The two projects, when completed, will generate enough energy to power some 32,000 households and increase the geographic spread of power generation in the country. Chief Executive Officer of the Volta River Authority, Emmanuel Inchidako, who disclosed this to the media after a tour of the two projects, was with Rafiq Salam, who filed this report.
President Akufo-Addo in February card sought for the construction of 17 megawatt peak solar projects at Kaleo and Lawra, both in the Upper West region. The two projects are being funded by the German Government Development Bank, KfW, at a cost of 22.8 million euros. Ever since the sword was cut, contractors working on the two projects, Elecno, have never looked back and has been working to ensuring that they do not only meet the deadline but deliver quality work as well. Project manager of Volta River Authority, Engineer Isaac Badu, threw more light on the two solar projects.
Originally, we were doing 4 megawatts here in Lawra and 13 megawatts in Kaleo. Because of some improvements that we have come up with, the capacity here has increased at no additional cost. So from 4 megawatts, we are doing 6.5 megawatts here. So come end of this month of October, when we commission, we'll be commissioning 6.5 megawatts capacity.
The projects, when completed, will generate enough energy to power some 32,000 households and increase the geographic spread of power generation in the country. Chief Executive Officer of the Volta River Authority, Emmanuel Inchidako, who toured the sites to acquaint himself of the progress of work, was impressed of the work done so far.
My impression is that the project has been well executed from the design phase right up to construction. I think it's a good project. I see there's great attention to detail as far as the operational practices and the construction practices are concerned. So I think all in all, I think I'd give the contractor a lot of congratulations for doing a good job. But as I said, we have slipped, and it's through no fault of anyone. It's just the COVID pandemic that has caused the slippage.
He is hopeful that both projects will be completed before the end of the year 2020.
I have no doubt in my mind that we can hand over. I mean, they are looking at handing over in November. I think that from the little that I've seen and the initial briefing that they gave us, I think we can do a couple of weeks earlier. And so we are going to sit with them, we'll decide with them how we can be more aggressive with the timeline. And I'm hopeful that we'll be able to do the handover before November.
Though the two projects are yet to be completed, Managing Director of the Northern Electricity Distribution Company, NEDCO, Osman Alodiba Ayuba, is already upbeat and speaking about the benefit his output will derive from the peak solar projects.
Once VRA puts it in place, it is for NEDCO to now take over as a marketer and now distribute it to the consumers. And so for us, it means a lot for us because you know our electricity supply is not very stable in recent times. And so it is another source of power generation for us. So it comes to augment whatever power supply we have to make to the people. And once the chief has said that one has been done at Navrongo and lessons have been learned, and this has become more efficient. What it means is that we may be able to get it at a cheaper cost than we were getting for Navrongo. And so that will also translate into we getting it to the consumers at a lesser cost.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam, Lawra.